Shortly after getting married, I realized just how out of reach my dream rental really was. If I wanted anything that even slightly resembled my dream home, I was going to have to make it myself. At the time, that realization felt crushing and honestly embarrassing. Not only could we not afford a beautiful place to rent, but even a small house with a tiny backyard was completely out of reach for our income amidst this market. But over time, that limitation forced me to get creative. And today I want to bring you along and show you the different ways I'm creating my dream home right where I am, without owning it, without spending much, and without breaking the rules of renting. The first way I started making this rental feel like my dream home was through the walls. When we first moved in 3 years ago, I immediately painted all the walls white to lighten the atmosphere. At the time, I didn't really know what my style was. All I knew was I wanted a decorative accent wall. I just came across a picture on Pinterest with pretty shiplap and decided to do the same, but of course, the renter-friendly version of it. To create it, I simply took a pencil, straight edge and level, and drew lines all across the wall. Afterwards, I came back through and rubbed the white eraser tip over the lines to thicken and soften them up. My style has changed since moving in, and I'll show you what I'm planning for this wall in just a bit. But in the meantime, I'm just patching up this section where I previously cut corners, which has come back to bite me in the butt. Another big way I love to make my dream home is through thrifting. I just find searching up and down the aisles so fun and like a wild treasure hunt, looking to give some pieces new life and love. I find it creates for an extra unique home that tells a story of its own. This faux fireplace is one of my latest thrifts. I just happened to go thrifting on a random day where the shop announced they were getting new floors, and so everything was 50% off. When I saw this fireplace, I thought I just hit the jackpot. What was once $75 was now $40, and in that moment, I was convinced it was meant to come home with me. I couldn't wait to try it out and see it glow, bringing an even cozier feel to memories made in the living room. But I didn't want this fireplace just for the sake of it being a cute old-fashioned fireplace. I wanted it to help complete the look of a cozy cottage fireplace, the style I now know I'm going for. So let me show you the vision for this wall with some pictures I've saved from Pinterest. So the idea for this old-fashioned fireplace is to have it be the center of an even more beautiful and kind of extravagant fireplace setting for an accent wall. I especially love this one. This one is like my dream fireplace of them all, and I love the vertical shiplap, so I am considering changing that, and I love how it bumps out from the wall. But as a renter, I find that might be a bit tricky, and so this might be something a little bit more renter-friendly of just doing the bump out in the bottom and kind of creating something that's a little bit smaller scale. I found so much inspiration while I'm on Pinterest. I love the different ideas of doing maybe some brick, or even like this one, doing stone. I haven't yet come across realistic faux bricks for renters, but I have seen some really convincing stones. So I'm still kind of debating by what I want to do, as alternatively, I did see some faux bricks that you can make yourself with joint compound. I'm not honestly even really sure what that is, but as a DIYer and creative at heart, I am definitely willing to give it a go. So I'll have to think on that, but I'm excited to show you in the future what I do settle on here for this space. Once I brought this fireplace home, this excitement I was feeling faded pretty quickly. What once felt like a jackpot had suddenly felt not so great. When I went to plug it in, I realized the cord looked like it might actually just catch the place on fire. I couldn't believe it was originally being sold for $75. I'm leaving it unplugged, and for now, I'll just hold on to it until I come across another one. Over time, I've realized that making my dream home hasn't just been about changing the space. It's been about changing the way I show up inside it. When I used to think of my dream home, I thought of it purely in terms of looks. The furniture, the style, the colors. But since having my son 18 months ago, I don't see it entirely that way anymore. Now, creating my dream home has slightly less to do with aesthetics and a bit more to do with how it feels. The smell of fresh bread coming from the oven, memories made from scattered toys across the floor, responding slowly and patiently to a cry for help. And I've learned that if I'm not careful to take care of myself, that cozy, welcoming feeling can slip away all too quickly. My flesh can take over, and suddenly the atmosphere of our home feels heavy instead of warm. So over time, I found a few simple things that help keep my head clear, my heart at peace, and my home feeling the way I want it to. And I'll show you what that looks like as we go. They're not revolutionary, but they do go a long way. The first way I try to care for myself is by eating well. Not just the foods my body craves, but healthier, more nourishing options that fuel me as I go about my day-to-days chasing around a little toddler. Next is sleep. This is one I really struggle with and am currently working on, and that is staying up too late. But I know I show up so much more patiently when I'm well rested. And the one that makes the biggest difference for me is spending time in prayer and in the Bible. When this gets pushed aside, my whole day feels off before it even starts. I can't be a patient, calm, or loving wife or mom without the daily help and grace of God. And now that the heart feels a little more in order, I want to show you one other way I like to curate our dream home. It's not something I learned from anyone else, and it doesn't always turn out perfect, but the final result carries more meaning than anything I could ever buy. I've always been a lover of making things by hand, whether that be crochet, hand embroidery, painting, or needle felting. Sewing just happens to be my latest interest. This sewing machine was passed down to me and has taken some time to learn. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but I still try. There's only one way to truly learn, and that's to just start. In my living room, I've been working on this little corner. It all began with this sewed footstool cover to hide the ugly. I recently thrifted a green velvet pillowcase, and it reminded me that I have a perfect floral match to it. It's not typically the material you'd use to make a pillowcase. It's pretty sleek and a bit difficult to work with, but it's what I have on hand and I don't want to waste it. It's the same fabric I used to sew a maternity skirt 2 years ago. We'll just have to wait and see how it looks as a pillowcase. I have loads of other ideas brewing in my head in plain old corners of the house, just patiently waiting their turn to be cared for and turned into a piece of this dream home I envision. But as for now, we just do little by little what we can one day at a time. As far as this little rental goes, I think it's like the cheesy saying, while the exterior may be ugly and beyond my control to renovate, it's the inside that counts. It's in this space that our dream life is made. It's the personal touches that create belonging, the handmade items that tell our story, the soft answer that turns away wrath, the silly moments that fill the room with laughter, and the choosing to cherish now. There's nothing quite like creating a life you love inside an ordinary home. I wish you the happiest of days in your own home, friend. If you're interested in more cozy homemaking, intentional motherhood, and thrifting, please do subscribe, and I'll see you next time.